I think the Brew Hut helped me personally in the craft beer industry by truly forming a sense of community. I was inspired by the wonderful relationships that people had built there, and to run into other brewers that aspired to open up a brewery as well. And the recommendation to move forward from everybody that you should pursue this. So it was a wonderful place to get positive support and move forward.
The Brew Hut has evolved in many ways since we bought the store in 2002. Probably the biggest way is the amount of inventory we have. We have probably 4 to 5 times the inventory that we had when we bought the store. We service a lot of different hobbies. We have a lot of new items. We've expanded the different types of equipment and ingredients for making beer and wine at home.
When we first bought the store from Scott, homebrewing was still, I would still say, in its infancy stages. Even though Charlie Papazian published the Joy of Homebrewing in the 70s, and there were a few shops in Denver, before craft beer really took off, ingredient availability wasn't what it is today. Back then, there were a lot of hopped malt extract kits. People were just getting into home wine making. There weren't all the gadgets. And it's evolved a ton as craft brewing has evolved. We have so many suppliers locally. There's so many hops and malts that are available to home brewers that are also available to commercial brewers now. And that wasn't the case back then. It was a lot harder as a home brewer then to get the ingredients that commercial brewers could get. And that's the biggest change, I think, is as the hobby's taken off and as craft brewing has taken off, the sourcing of ingredients has increased tremendously, and then also the gadgetry.
We started home brewing pretty seriously in 2009 with the dream of one day opening up a brewery. Shopped around to a lot of different places, and we kept coming back to the Brew Hut because they had everything that we needed. That a lot of the other stores wouldn't necessarily have a specific type of grain, a specific type of hop. And eventually we just made the decision that we were going to move all of our purchasing to the Brew Hut just because we knew that they would have it instead of running the risk of going somewhere else, having to make two different stops.
Brew Hut was basically our right-hand man. After multiple attempts doing other homebrew shops and missing a certain bag of grain here or a different hop or a part and piece here, it was really quickly learned that going to the Brew Hut, you felt pretty secure that when you walked in, they had what you need.
Everybody there is just so knowledgeable. So it was as back far as I can remember, and I know I haven't been there the entire time it's been open, but from the first day I walked in, it was a knowledgeable staff, and it's still a knowledgeable staff. If you've got questions about anything, they know the answer, which is great. And if they don't, they'll admit it and point you to a reference where maybe you can get the answer.
What I really gathered the very first time I went in there was a tremendous sense of community. It was just a great place to go, spend a couple hours. The wait staff was extremely knowledgeable about beer. What was going on, what was happening, and it was just a great place to hang out for a couple hours, buy your grain, buy your ingredients, go home and brew, and it just continued at home.
You know, I had been a home brewer for 5 years at the point when I started shopping there at the Brew Hut. So number one, it taught me everything to do, and then, you know, it also taught me everything not to do. And here's what happens when you do this. You know, with your home brewing, I got to bring in samples every day if I wanted to, and have all the feedback and everything like that. The great part was it was such a mecca for home brewers, but early on the craft brewers too, when Dry Dock started going in '05, so they'd all come hang out as well. You know, and they'd come talk to Kevin, and a lot of them were home brewers too. So I got to slowly meet a lot of the pros in the area and start to develop relationships. And not to mention the fact that I got to see, you know, and help brewing on a 7-barrel system. A lot of the great brewers, Lachlan, you know, great buddy of mine, genius brewer, learned a lot from him. Jim Denier, you know, he's kind of big in the home brewing circles around here, writes for the Rocky Mountain Brewing News. And then they hired Bill I, and you don't get much better for lager beer than that. Then they hired Doug, knew all the hoppy beers, and had a lot of experience with Rock Bottom and Green Flash. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, I was able over the years to slowly develop a network of friends and now colleagues from that experience.
The Brew Hut will always hold a very special place in my heart. Indirectly, it was a major influence As I mentioned, going to dry dock in the tap room and the combination with the brew hut, it was really the first time I had that seed planted in my mind that you could actually open a brewery and just have a tap room. I don't read a lot about it, but I sort of look at the dry dock and brew hut combination as kind of ground zero for the so-called fourth wave of breweries. I think Kevin and his crew kind of inspired a lot of folks by having the tap room brewery model without having to package or get out a lot of beer in distribution. So just seeing that as a viable option was a major inspiration for me, and I know a lot of other guys in this industry.
Back in the day, I remember the Brew Hut being a really small, shop with the dry dock behind it. The Brew Hut helped me, getting started in the craft industry. Just always being there, advice, having the supplies that I needed. Because I'm not a big fan of substitutions, and they always had, the hops, the yeast, the grains, whenever I needed it.
Well, I remember a couple of things. The first of which, they were always very helpful advice-wise, homebrew. But even more than that, they always had what I needed ingredient-wise, and that was really important because 2005 isn't exactly the beginning of homebrewing by any means, but even then, it was hard to find ingredients, specialty grains, that kind of thing. And one of my favorite things was they would email me this coupon once a month so that I could come in here on my way home from work and use it on a sack of grain, which having a sack of grain is a great deal.
When we first opened, I used to go to the brew hut and I would ask for advice. I would ask for hops and they would be able to provide it to me. I would ask for certain strains of yeast, something that I was looking for so that I could achieve a certain taste, something that would be beneficial as far as the temperatures. The suggestions that I received from the guys on the other side of the counter was phenomenal. And we've incorporated a lot of the advice that they provided.
Started shopping at the Brew Hut. I can't remember when it was. I was trying to remember the address today. I think it was at Buckley and Iliff or Buckley and Chambers before it moved to the present location. So basically 20 years ago. And first time walking in after Kevin bought it, and I looked at Kevin like, who the heck are you? I was probably the first customer that walked in when Kevin's first day there. So they give me a lot of help on refining recipes, and I actually bought the original dry dock brew system to get started.
They come through in every aspect of anything that I need. They are always there. Even in emergency situations, they're always there and always willing to work with me to make sure that I can get everything I need to make a brew day successful or even a cellar day successful. They helped me with getting me an internship at Elk Mountain. Then from there I got promoted. The amount of knowledge and being able to work on my people skills while I was there is just invaluable. So that's how Brew Hut definitely got me started in the craft beer industry.
I think just the knowledge that you could take something that you're doing at home in your own house and make it into a business model, and then the help that they could give me was phenomenal. They would laugh at me when I would go in because I was brewing 1 gallon homebrew batches. So I was buying supplies that looked like it was really stupid amounts of like 4 pounds of grain, and they're like, what are you doing? Because when I was doing trial batches at home and brewing, I don't want 50 beers of a trial batch, I want 10. So yeah, I was going in all the time, and just the encouragement that they would give me, trying different brews, trying different things, using different hops, using different yeast, and just being able to talk to the guys at the Brew Hut about what all is involved in brewing and what can make beer better and what can make beer different and what can make a beer unique. That was just invaluable information that they could help with.
I just remember going to the Brew Hut and talking with all the guys, and Steve was just this huge, tall guy with white hair who'd help everybody out, and he was always super nice. Like, he'd let you in and you'd just be talking about whatever. Even if you came up with just ridiculous, I'm a homebrewer, I have no idea what I'm talking about. He was always super awesome, helped you out with everything, and anything you ever needed was there. It was perfect. Like, you just walk in and they always had everything. You're like, that's amazing. So it was really, really helpful as a homebrewer to just have like this big breadth of knowledge. Like Jeff and Steve always had, like, they knew everything. You could ask them whatever, and it was It was really impressive, so it helped out a lot as you were learning how to brew. Still go to the Brew Hut every now and again to pick up stuff every here and there. Like if we're doing a specialty batch of beer or something, or I'm doing a little test batch, I'll still go pick up a little vial of yeast every now and again, do a small batch, or pick up some random, you know, just specialty equipment. I still use probably all the same airlocks that I bought at Brew Hut a long time ago, so.
Over the years, we've had so many customers open up their own breweries, especially seeing how I was able to do it. Michelle and I, taking over this small space next to the Brew Hut, seeing us open up in a very small space and do it simply and be able to have a tasting room in Colorado. Them seeing us do that here and seeing how we were able to do it from a home brewing background has really inspired a lot of our customers to open up their own breweries. It's been so exciting. It's crazy to think of what all these breweries have done. A lot of them are on our side of town too, which is great. And maintaining those relationships is fantastic. Helping them with their excitement, helping them with business plans and equipment procurement and hop contracts and ingredients. And it's been fantastic to see all of them open up. It's been great.
To the Brew Hut, happy 20th anniversary from Three Freaks Brewery in Highlands Ranch. Congratulations and cheers.
20 years, guys. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for everything. You guys have helped us out, and continued success into the future. Cheers.
Happy 20th birthday, Brew Hut. I think I've been here for all 20 years.
Happy birthday, Brew Hut. Happy 20th.
Yeah, happy 20th anniversary, Brew Hut. I can't wait for the next 20 years. We'll still be buying ingredients from you.
Hey everybody at the Brew Hut, happy 20th anniversary.
To everyone at the Brew Hut, thank you very much. We wouldn't have been here without you guys. Our destiny is based off of our history with you guys, and we truly appreciate it. I want to congratulate you for 20 amazing years. Wish you the best of luck, and cheers to all your future endeavors.
Happy anniversary, Brew Hut.
Happy 20th anniversary, guys. It's awesome. Thank you so much for your help, and really appreciate everything you've done for me. You've really started me off in the craft brew world, and I couldn't thank you guys enough. So happy 20 years, and you deserve it.
Brew Hut, so happy you're there. I would not be in brewing or where we are today without your help. Happy 20th. We can't wait to celebrate with you.
Congratulations, guys, on 20 years. I personally thank you for the inspiration and the model you guys set forth, and I'm sure there are countless brewers and professional brewers to be out there that found inspiration through not just your beers, but the awesome customer service that the Brew Hut's always provided. So thank you guys, happy anniversary.